Good evening and tonight, viewers. This is Three Roads Gaming. Now let's ride. Last time on Let's Play Earthbound, we ran afoul of the local police. So we're gonna have a chat with them. Oh yes, there was an instance of censorship earlier. Well, not censorship per se, that I neglected to mention. At one point in the intro sequence, one of the characters would say something like, "We're going for the world record in terms of road blockage." In the Japanese, they said, "We're going for the Guinness record." Let's see here. Alright, so we're gonna have not really a boss gauntlet. I'm gonna eat a hamburger. They can drop hamburgers, not all the time, but every so often. In the original Japanese, he said, "Your average policeman is stronger than Superman." Again, writing around them trademarks. Alright, let's eat a hamburger. The crushing chop is their powerful attack, and they really like to use that thing. Let's see what we got here. Nothing. So, it's not as obvious in his redesigned American clay model, but Ness is supposed to be a little chubby. So yeah, it's kind of a holdover from that. What a remarkable difference having actual equipment makes. Alright, I'm gonna play it conservative. Hey, I'll take it. I think there's a reference in here to some sort of Japanese martial art, or Sambo or something, which is, I think, very popular over there. Okay, I'm gonna eat a hamburger just to be safe. I go ahead and let it roll all the way up before I do anything. I'm gonna play it even more conservative. Okay. That is probably the cleanest Captain Strong fight I've ever taken. All I can figure is that when this game was re-released, I'm guessing for the Wii U Virtual Console, maybe not. Maybe the SNES Classic? I don't know. When it was re-released after them years, I think there was some subtle rebalancing because I've noticed enemies getting a lot more smash attacks in these later versions. So I think they did some subtle tweaking. And Captain Strong is one of those that he'd like chain 3 or 4 crits in a row. I don't know if they upped his guts. I don't know if they changed the formula. Alright then. We can go to Tucson. Yeah, I could imagine. Now, let's go to the hotel, because we can get ourselves a cutscene. Wasn't able to show this off last time. $35. And let's spend the night here. Ness gets a psychic dream from this girl named Paula. Then let's talk to this guy. Every time you stay in the hotel, you get a free newspaper. It's almost entirely just random nonsense. If only it could be like that show Early Edition, where you get tomorrow's paper today. I'd love to see them reboot that. They reboot it, but it's just like a bunch of ads. We get tomorrow's ads today. Alright then. Yeah, sure, whatever. I'll use PSI trivia. They're still decent experience. So the joke about this guy is that mice are normally unwanted tenants in someone else's house. So this guy is doing the reverse. He's a pest to them. Trust me on the dark road. So what these guys do, they let you escape from a dungeon. They take you back to the entrance. There's no real reason for me to have one at this point. So I'm gonna hold off, because by the time I need one, I'll be able to get one from somewhere else. And once I head south in here... I believe that's a hamburger. I believe once I get past this tree here, I'm going to encounter new enemies. These mushrooms. There we are. I believe they can drop a ketchup packet, which makes sense. Mushroom ketchup is a thing. Here we are in Tucson. But yes, those mushrooms can give you a status called mushroomization, which is effectively confuse, except... Oh. The photo guy! Need to make sure there's no photo spots in Onet that I didn't miss. Mushroomization is like confuse, but you can still input your attacks. They just might not hit who you want them to hit. There we are. I could rent a bicycle if I want, but they're pretty quickly it's pretty quickly going to be something I can't use anymore. And this guy talks about a very well-known, and I would argue very misunderstood, aspect of this game. Homesickness. Ness can't get it yet. He's only level 11. Once he hits level 16, he can become homesick. Homesickness works like this. First off, he can only get it in areas other than Onet, and the first half of a area we haven't been to yet. Second, he can only get it between levels 16 and 75. How it works: at the end of each battle, an invisible die is rolled, or RNG, or whatever, coin flip, whatever you want to call it. Well, not really a coin flip, it's not 50%. There is a 3 in 32 chance from levels 16 to 30, and a 2 in 32 chance from 31 onward that he will get homesickness. It's assessed at the end of a battle, so you don't have to worry about him landing it in the middle of a battle. The only two ways to fix homesickness are to visit a sanctuary spot, or to call your mother. Calling your mother in advance does nothing. That is one of the biggest misconceptions. Calling your mother if you're not homesickness does not protect you against it. It does not do anything other than talk to your mother. Also, some people will claim that, because I've seen this on guides, some people will claim that looking at a chick, the item, will cure homesickness. It does not. So that's homesickness in a nutshell. How it works is that Ness will sometimes just not take his turn. Alright, let's see here. Ignore that flashing window, because it's not really worth it. While it will nominally deal more damage, there are two types of attacks: bash attacks and shoot attacks. Bash attacks can smash, and they miss 1 out of every 16 times. Shoot attacks cannot smash, but they miss every 3 out of 16 times. And that's bash and shoot in a nutshell. I love this. This is one of my favorite lines in the game. It's worth it just to say no to the vendors, just to see how they respond. Anyway, Before I call this an episode, I want to do some shopping, but not here. I'm just gonna pull 700 out. There are a couple of things I want to do. We can't get into the Chaos Theater yet. Berglin Park, named New Suto Park in Japanese. Roughly the same pun. Okay, let's talk to this dude. No. Extra defense is always good. You won't get through your teen years without at least one egg. I love it. No. Okay, but your teen years will be ruined just because you didn't buy an egg. So, fresh eggs are very interesting items. They restore about 85 HP, which is pretty good, but they have a downside. And that is that after X amount of time, I forget how long, they'll hatch into a chick, which will then grow into a chicken. Now, chickens can be sold for 110 bucks, so if you're running low on money, buy up some eggs, wait for them to hatch, sell them for a tidy sum. Using the chicken does nothing. It just runs away. And you have to live with the knowledge that you used a chicken. Anyway, I'm going to talk to this guy. He's got condiments. I'm going to get a sprig of parsley. I think that's funny. I'm doing it for the laughs. This is for the laughs, viewers. Okay, I got enough space. That is true. Sometimes animals can... They do love parsley. They were all different, mostly different in Japanese. I believe parsley... Hold on, let's see here. I need to look at it in front of me. So how it works is every time I eat something, if I have a condiment in my inventory, the condiment will be applied alongside it. If it works with the condiment, it'll double its effectiveness. If not, I think it'll kneecap its effectiveness somewhat. It's not really worth it because inventory is at such a premium. However, there is one thing you can do with that, and it involves a trick I will explain later. Alright, so ketchup was ketchup, sugar was sugar, salt was the same. I believe the jar of hot sauce was explicitly referred to as Tabasco. Because, I mean, that's like a genericized trademark for hot sauce. Parsley was aonori, which is a kind of seaweed. The carton of cream was condensed milk, and cocoa was chocolate chips. Neither of those make sense to be toting around. Anyway, to progress the plot... we gotta talk to Apple Kid. There, I'll have him take that. Let's see. Eat my cheap bracelet. I like this line. What I did last time, and what I like to do because it's funny, is give him a cold remedy, but Here you are. Have a sprig of parsley. It's very filling. And you have to do this to progress the plot. Let's talk to this mouse here. This is a reference to a famous Japanese novel, I Am a Cat. Except this time it's I Am a Mouse. I think it's about a cat that, like, kind of lives through, I guess, a tumultuous period in his master's life, and he's got to deal with that. Or is it like the 9 Lives of a Cat or something? Ah. We get the receiver phone. People... It's all good.
It's like a slice of life.
Interesting. Oh! There are bad... Oh, he despawned. There are enemies kind of sprinkled throughout here. They're like... sort of corrupted humans. Anyway, I'm gonna go... Well, I'm gonna go... sell that cheap bracelet. I just kept it for a cheap laugh. I believe this lady will... take that. There. Because I want to rest up and then save. No, I don't want to withdraw. I want to deposit. Now you may be wondering, why am I depositing all my money when I need to spend the night at a hotel? And there's a reason for that. Let's bug this guy. Yup. Yup. The effectiveness of that tactic may vary. Bothering random strangers in a hotel lobby probably isn't a good way to get $50. Anyway, there's also another funny NPC in here. This guy. You're one of those people that says no right off the bat to any question. Anyway, let's talk to... And yeah, that also hints at what mushroomization does to you. Every so often, your controller rotates 90 degrees, so right becomes up, down becomes right, left becomes down, and so on and so forth. Anyway, we're gonna rest up here. There we are. That's right, ghosts are in the tunnel to Threed. I can't just go over to Threed. Well, actually, that's a lie. I can, and people have done it. It basically involves using the skip sandwich, because in some of the little... I'm just gonna walk outside and show off something like it. Because this is really better with a visual demonstration. And I believe there's like an overhang right here. So in areas like this, when you get to the kind of... speedrunners are like... hosses at this. In areas like around here, the collision detection around the edges is kind of non-existent. Or rather, there's places you can kind of sneak in. It's a lot easier with a skip sandwich. But it has been done without. Never went up here before. There's the hospital. But yes, if you're really determined, you can get through there and kind of skip to the next area. And yeah, speedrunners are excellent at it. I am not excellent at it. Anyway, we're here in Tucson. I'm gonna say Tucson, even though geographically it's about where Tucson, Arizona would be. Anyway, this has been Three Roads Gaming. I sure am glad the road brought you here. Hope it brings you back my way again soon. Have a good one, everybody.